Hey everyone, Pastor George here, and welcome to Thursday Theolog. And today I have a question that someone asked me, but they didn't send it over email, so I'm not going to reveal who it was or whatever. But I think it's one of those questions where people have wondered this and they wonder whether or not it's okay to do. And so someone asked me recently whether or not it's a sin to gamble. And now I will be honest, I've never gambled at a casino before. I've never done anything like that, so I can't really speak to that part of it. I have played lottery tickets fairly, not fairly often. Usually scratch offs, get them around Christmas time. We'll sometimes buy them with a friend or whatever for fun, but nothing, serious. And so, is gambling a sin? Well, you'll kind of get a large swath of Christian views on this, all the way from yeah, it's a sin and you can't do it to no, it's not. And I tend to be on the no, it's not side, but that doesn't mean that it's just an acceptable thing to do, right? I think and what I mean by that is, let me clarify, because to me gambling is like anything else out there where it really depends on how your heart interprets it, right? So let's say you take it and you spend all your time at the casino, you're spending lots of money, you're kind of wasting your substance, then actually it is a sin, right? Because you're taking gifts that God has given you and wasting them on something else, right? The same way it would be if you played like a ton of video games and kind of wasted your life away that way, or got like way too into sports where sports became an idol and you were missing worship on Sundays to go watch sports or something like that, or any sort of thing. We can take everything and make it into an idol, right? So it's not as though gambling in itself is a bad thing. It's how gambling is used by the person, how we apply it, how much control it has over our life. That's really what matters. And now the Bible really actually doesn't speak too much about this other than being wise, because we actually have people kind of engaging in what you could consider gambling in the ancient world. You see people draw lots, right, or stuff like that, which is actually a form of gambling in the ancient world. And so we know that it's not something that is inherently wrong, but it's something that takes a lot of understanding of yourself, and self not preservation, but self knowledge, to know that I'm not going to waste substance on this type of thing. So, for instance, if you go into a casino, setting a limit, $500, and basically saying, once I lose that, I'm done, that type of thing, right? Or if I double it, then I'm done. Something like that. It's definitely something you need to be careful of, because despite what people think, especially when it comes to stuff like the lottery, chances of winning it are very small. And it's referred to as a poor man's tax for a reason, right? Because it kind of takes advantage of people who are looking for a quick way out of their dire straits, and stuff like that. So people who do that type of thing are kind of in their own category, but that's not what I'm talking about. So gambling, generally fine as long as you are, conscious of what you're doing and why you're doing it, and not turning it into a vice or into a sinful exercise. So if you don't do that, then you should be good. So if you ever have wondered what my Christian perspective is, or what a Christian perspective on gambling is, I think that that's probably the healthiest perspective to have on it. So just make sure that you use the gifts and talents that God gives you wisely, and not on stuff like gambling. You know, because ultimately we're called to be of service to other people, so you can't let other things get in the way of it, even if it's fun. I also want to say that I'm out of questions, so if anyone has any, you can email me or reach out to me or something else, and I'll be happy to answer. So send me your questions. You guys all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next week for more Theologs. Peace out.